Everybody, JP Moss here, Jason Moss. How are you? We're midway through 2019. I thought long and hard about a video. Um, there really are so many things going on right now with YouTube and the UFO subject and what's happening. If I give an opinion what it looks like, there's like the 4 points to ponder with when I went off to make this video. There's point one. It's like the do's and don'ts, because it just becomes a debacle. When someone like myself goes public and talks about having contact or having been contacted or having dialogue or interacting with extraterrestrials, it's not something that can ever be taken lightly. It is serious for many reasons. It's serious on every aspect of that. It's serious. It's not a game. It's not a joke. It's very serious to me, because the implications of this aren't just that we're not alone, aliens are here. The implications are this Jason Moss guy could be mentally ill. He's insane. He's a fantasy-prone person. He's out trying to get attention. There just really isn't any evidence to support that, so he's out of his mind. Now, the lack of evidence doesn't mean the lack of contact or the lack of fact that this happened. For whatever reason, the evidence, I have evidence. Of course I have evidence. I have a lot of evidence. But I think what's important is that I'm listened to along with the evidence I have to present. It's very cold and black and white to just forensically take the evidence from a crime scene. This is how you're treated. It's like a crime scene, and I'm laying there dead on the floor, and I can't talk or say anything, and people are coming up going, well, what kind of evidence is he talking about? Let's have a look at these recordings and these pictures he's talking about. How about, I'm not laying there dead on the floor. I'm here. I can talk to you. Here I am. Let's share. Let's talk about how I obtained that evidence, where it came from, and why I obtained it. How did it come to my possession? Is it just some coincidence that I have the kind of evidence I have that cannot be debunked as of to date? It won't ever be debunked. It's factual. It's real. It's not hoaxed. It's not something that I've gone out and created. It's real. There it is. I've asked for independent researchers who don't know me, have nothing to do with me, to come forward and meet me to collect evidence of their own in the places I go to and around me. That door is still open. So, I'd like to be able to talk. I'd like to be able to be heard alongside the evidence presented, not just, forensic pathologists show up, cold black and white, plastic gloves, put on a mask, put a police line up around this, and treat it like some kind of a crime scene, or it's a crime, as if I've committed a crime by presenting the evidence I'm presenting and saying this evidence supports my statement that I am in contact with those beings and this girl. But it's now being regarded ever more with derision, as if you've committed a crime. Okay, you've committed a crime. Okay, first of all, you said this, didn't you? Okay, well, first of all, you're a liar. You're guilty until proven innocent in front of the communities out there and the general world. That you're crazy, you're a liar, you're fantasy prone, it's a hoax game, it's you, and you're misleading all these innocent people. Shame. Well, wait a minute, before you jump on the bandwagon and convict me and indict me in a court, your own little court of law, first let me have my say, and then let me present what I have and have a good look at what I have. Don't want to look at what you've got. Don't have time for it. Nope, sorry, not going to do it. La la la. a spiritual nut guru. No. I've had influences from my contact with this girl who identified herself to me by name as Benico, Benico. She said it wasn't her name, but it was what I will identify her as. Well, you don't have any telepathic contact with her. I know what it is. It's empathetic. Empathic. Wait a minute. How exactly would you know that? You're not in my head. You haven't sat and you haven't even bothered coming out to do serious research on me. Some of you are sitting in England who can drive here. You haven't bothered bringing your equipment and trying to see what is going on with this. So how can you make these carte blanche statements? And you got these people in America making videos, and you know who you are. And immediately they say, why fantasy-prone people fall to the wayside? Because lacks evidence and because they just seek attention. When they don't get the attention they want, they just go away. Well, you know what? That attitude was beat on my skull some years back after I went public in 2012. And I've been talking about it privately with people since 2010 about my experiences. And on Facebook, social media site like Facebook, I went through this. There was gossip, there was cliques, there was groupies. And in the years 2013, 14, 15, somewhere thereabouts, there was like these little UFO groups on Facebook just began doing that number, and you know what. Though I had collected electronic voice phenomena recordings commonly used in ghost research, but this is not dead people or dead person I'm dealing with. So we have to dumb this thing way down. It's like we're taking giant steps backwards in this field, and contactee field is what I'm talking about. In the field of contactee research, which, if you say contactee research, you're talking about people that Bud Hopkins, Dr. Jacobs investigated, Dr. John Mack investigated, and you know the names. And even Dr. Jacobs, who's very, very negative opinion about alien abductions and believes it's all a very evil, bad thing, it's even beginning to slam against Dr. David Jacobs at this point, who spent over 45 years in the field interviewing and collecting evidence that these people are being abducted by aliens. Well, but now the new thing seems to be lately, you can't say that. Where's the evidence? Those people are just crazy. So now they're starting to knock down Dr. Jacobs's 4 decades of research and start to make it out like it's all muddly nothing. There's no contactees. We're only going to look at UFO pictures. We're only going to listen to these proper whistleblowers, proper disclosure. How do you define that? You could fabricate government IDs all day long and lie at your ass, you know. I still have paperwork from the United States Army, which is genuine, it's real. I've got loads of this information. Oh, well, that's all right. That could be fabricated. But if I were to say, here's my Army paperwork, it depends. It still smells like a clique. I'm not going to say, this is a conspiracy. Here's the do's and don'ts. And what came across my mind before making this video? And it was like, don't do that, Jason. Don't go making a defensive video about your experience and why you're not fantasy prone. And Benico loves me and other. Okay, so I heard a video from this guy or that girl out there, and they're saying there's a guy he's anti-unspirituality on YouTube. There's Richard Dolan. I'm going to drop some names. Richard Dolan. He's like, I want to clear up the UFO field. How do you control something like that, Richard? Do you go out and tell the aliens, don't talk to these people, don't interact with those people? Do you think that they're only interacting with government people? Hold on, Richard. What about Officer Zamora, who many, many years back saw an upside-down craft that took off out in, what was that, New Mexico? He's a police officer. What about the many cases still going on of sightings? And my sons and I have taken pictures in the last couple of weeks of a daylight sighting of 7 saucer-like rotating craft flying here in the town of Felixstowe, right over our direction where we're staying at. My sons, we got pictures of this. It was against a blue sky, and there they were. I mean, my 12-year-old was on his knees going, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." Then the following week, we've got low-flying white craft, flying backwards, flying forwards. It's like you're racing in and out of your house trying to get cameras. You have to like get your phone, if there's enough memory in the phone, or grabbing what pictures we can. Stop that, aliens. You stop that. Jason's not an credible disclosure person. Well, they only do that with government people. I'm a contactee. Now, how do you define that? How do you know you are? You know, did Dr. Jacobs say you are? You know, well, no, Benico did. Okay, none of you UFO researchers need to validate me. Benico does it for me. Okay, I have enough evidence and conversation and material which that comes across one of my 4 points of the don'ts of what not to do with a video like this. Don't do that. Don't do that. I have an agreement with her that this material, I have the evidence that she exists, the evidence in photos and video. I have the evidence of existence and the EVPs to back it up. There is a large body of evidence of EVPs of Benico communicating with me in English that is connected to these UFO sightings that follow hours, even a day later, which are pretty intense sightings, by the way. That, with the agreement with her idea, not mine, not to go public. So don't talk about that. Okay, so yes, communicate with her? Yeah. Talk about it? What do you talk about with her? Not going to talk about it. Can you share that evidence? No. I can give you the evidence of existence, the evidence of her existence. You can do what you want with that, okay? So that was one of the don'ts. Don't violate the agreement with Benico. I don't need validation from Richard Dolan. I don't need validation from government people, CIA people to talk to me. I don't need you. I have all the validation I need in my relationship with her. This isn't a fantasy. This is a real person. I don't seek the approval of the public. I don't seek the approval of presidents of countries. I don't seek the approval of any human being on this planet. I don't need you. I don't need you to back me up. I don't need little Filipino girls named Maria to show up and say, I'm a psychic crystal Reiki master and I can tell you what you need to know. I don't need people on Facebook dropping hints. Well, I know a guy who works for the CIA. He might be able to give you some information. I'm not seeking information from you. I need all that I have, all that I need, all that I have comes from the horse's mouth, from Benico. Why would I need any of you when I can have this communication with her one night and the next day there we see seven craft in the skies over Felixstowe against a blue sky. So we get people that will only look at those photos and nothing Jason has to say. That's it. You've even got people that would look at those photos and say, genuine, but don't put his name on it. And I'm like, well, okay, then why am I going public? Okay, and it comes to that point, integrity and dignity, because I love her. And there was an incident that happened long ago involving her, and yes, I witnessed it, and the government was involved. I've never changed that story in 8 or 9 years now. You know, I've written some little paperback books about it. I've talked about it in videos all day. It points a lot of nasty fingers to the American government. Well, I can't be sorry for saying that because that's what I witnessed. I'm a witness. I'm a contactee. And I don't need you. I don't need your approval. Don't need Black Ops peoples to step out and I'll back you up, Jason. Whether you do or don't, I don't care. I'm contented with the contact I have with her. I believe that my videos and everything I've done on Facebook has been activism. It's not any kind of, you call it what you do, what you want, disclosure. I don't care. I don't think I've ever been a disclosure person. I think what I am is an activist. I'm an activist for the rights of those who get taken illegally from these craft that the American government brings down with technology they've got. They take them into custody, they shoot them, they torture them, they manipulate them to do things. These are very, very defenseless beings that are very advanced but don't have any weaponry. They have no way of harming anybody. They are telepaths. They could use their telepathy to cause heart attacks and sudden panic attacks on people, but they're so peaceful they won't even do this. You bring down their craft, you find nothing on there that can blow up the White House or anything like that. They've got nothing. And she was a defenseless person that I witnessed getting hurt long ago. And so, but that contact is reestablished. We're in contact. Now, that said, it's one of the do's and don'ts. I'm not being defensive by any means. I'm laughing it off. I'm like, whatever, say what you want, okay? I feel that, why would I feel that some of these people are directing some of those comments towards me? Well, not towards me, but generally the videos have come across sounding like anybody at this point that says they're in any way at all a contactee, or another word for this is experiencer, is now a fantasy person, and not to be listened to. That's what it sounds like. And so that burns Dr. John Mack's research and pisses all over it. That takes a big shit all over Dr. David Jacobs' 4 or 5 decades right there. That takes a big shit on Bud Hopkins' research, and just basically says, look, I'm an arrogant person. I've sold books. I've got a namesake. People talk to me. People with government. I don't find anybody credible in my book. If you feel that the government will talk to you, I don't have a lot of trust of my government, and I'm certainly not going to think, hey, I'm going to listen to that guy because he gets people from the government talking to him. Really? Since when do we suddenly think they're telling the truth? What's happening here? I'm sorry. Did I miss something? What? Okay. So we can go back to the Vietnam War, and my uncle was in that war. And there are a lot of people I knew when I was in the Army, way back in time, way back in my life, and they were veterans still serving. And they never got their benefits. They never got any kind of VA benefit. They were treated like absolute shit by that government. Okay, and they were still being treated that way even into the 1990s. All right. So let's sit down and ask one of those Vietnam veterans, do you trust the American government? They're going, well, you have to ask? Right. No. So, I mean, I really find that laughable. Well, I'm so-and-so, and a former major and a captain, and this person, the general's talking to me. He's an ex-CIA officer, high-ranking with the National Security Agency. I'm like, go stick it up your ass. That doesn't really impress me. I'm impressed. Ooh, really? These are the last people I think I'd want to be talking to. Okay. So, and that makes you more credible as a UFO researcher? Why? Why? That's proper disclosure in your book? Okay. These are the people who spend a lot of money, taxpayer money, to come after people like me, and there's evidence of this. Shut us up, silence us, threaten us, kick us, kill us, isolate us, run people out of our lives. I mean, it's not a conspiracy theory, a paranoid nut, when the evidence of that is mountain sizes. Go to the Freedom of Information Act, the FOIA, and request this information. A lot of it's even out there. And you'll find where they had these, this is what they did, this is what they did, this is what they did. There's so many books written, factual books, on people who have provided evidence having nothing to do with UFOs and aliens, of how they treat people that they don't want you to listen to, and what they do to them, and how they can wreck their lives. So it's like, hey, okay, and we should trust them, and you should listen to me, because I talk to them. Okay. Well, it's against the law to say that, Jason, that you don't trust them. They haven't given me any reason to trust them. In any case, I don't need to be talking to them. What do they know that I don't know? And why would I need to go to them and look at their dossier and archive files and their field reports, the CIA? Why would I need to talk to the CIA? I have everything I need from Beniko directly, the source directly. I have contact with her, and within hours or within a day, there's a flotilla of UFO sightings in this area. There's suddenly a lot of military helicopters flying around, scanning the hell out of everything. You can see them zipping up and down in civilian neighborhoods where the sightings were located, going, oh, what the hell, you know, and they're going up ape shit. You know, I've got these people following me around. I've got military people that even come up to me and even tried engaging me. You know, British forces. Well, can you tell? It's you, isn't it? But you know, I'm not dropping that. I'm not going to talk about that. Does that validate me? Make me real? I don't know. I don't care about them. And if they sat in video with me and said, "Look, I'm Major So and So, British Air Force. I'd like to say that this man here." It doesn't make me real. It doesn't. I don't need that to validate it interpersonally for me. I don't need this to say to me my experience in this situation is real. Okay. We have what we have. We have a nice ongoing relationship. It's something that's it's happening. It's very real. But it's also very personal. Now, well, for the sake of science and mankind, reveal all. Well, no, stick it up your ass. I'm not going to do that. Fuck you. Why? Why would I do that? To satisfy who? Satisfy what? The skeptics? The believers? What does that accomplish? What does that do? I mean, I can provide evidence of my experiences, my contactee, what I'm saying. I'm not going to say it's an allegation because it is a fact. It's happening. It's happening to me. I'm an activist, not a disclosure person. I'm an activist. I've always been an activist. I've always been an activist. 8.5, almost 9 years now. It's been one thing, out of love. Love. It's about love. Stop this. You know who you are watching these videos. You know what you've done. You out there have created your world, your civilization, and structured it in such a way that only these certain special forces commandos people and these PhDs you've drafted into these you create these classified programs that are 45 levels high, classified level 1, level 2. You must have a level clearance of 76 before naval intelligence, and you can get involved and look at anything like this in a secret hangar. You have created that heightened sense of paranoia and fear and suspicion and bolted 4-foot thick lead doors and hidden mountains with underground base. You, underground bases, have done this. You have created that environment. You have then gone out there with your laws, your issues, whatever your fears and your need to promote your globalization of power. You feel that this is a threat to your national security. You created your environment. You created your laws. Your CIA, you created its mandates, you created its legislation, you created the word classified, and then you create your programs, and you put your people in it, and then you say, anybody that's not inside that box, well, they can't be telling the truth. Because we control, wait, stop right there. You control this. Are you? Are you really in the control that you think? So one of the things I was saying, I was not going to come on here, which I didn't do, be defensive about, well, what? I'm going to say rebuttal what he said. Yeah. Don't talk about that. Don't. It's no need to. Don't go on about the personal contact with Beniko. There's no need to do that either. Don't be a conspiracy video. That was the third one. Don't be a conspiracy video. Okay. So you know, there it is. It's not. Is it a conspiracy? Well, look. You can fact check this stuff. You can see that there are these programs. This is going on. But look, I don't want to talk about the billions of documents and millions of classified programs and millions of special ops and secret bases. And look, you out there who need that because you haven't the contact that I have. So you need to hang around Area 51 and S4, allegedly S4 exists. You need to listen to Bob Lazar's videos. You need to chase down UFO pictures. Well, go for it. Research it if you can. Keep going for it. you out there who don't have my experience and my contact level, you need to do that. I don't. Do I sit around all day watching those videos? No. Do I sit around all day, watching UFO shows, UFO channel? Sometimes I just out of curiosity, I'll look out there, see what's online. And if the YouTube's being censored and they want to shut everything down, do you want my opinion? What I think is happening? Do you need me to hear that? Can't you think for yourself? Think about why would you think so? You ask yourself the question. Why are they now shutting? Why are they saying these people can sit out in the forefront and say those things where everybody else is being told, shut up, take the videos down? Why would you think that's happening? You answer the question, okay? You do that yourself. It's become so muddled up in quagmire over the direction of all this and UFO subject and disclosure. It all seems to be running in that direction. It seems to be just completely wrapped up in the government box. It all has to do with the government. Yeah, I've heard that. And it's every UFO is government made and everything else, government. Okay. So what happens is, if you don't have somebody stepping up claiming some issue connection with or affiliation with government, see, when I said I was in the U.S. Army, did that get your attention? If I showed my discharge paperwork, DD Form 214, my 201 file, which is in Arperson, Illinois, the headquarters, the inactive reserve, if you were to look at this paperwork, would that make you listen to me more? Even though being in the Army has no connection to my contact with Benico. Okay, so why would it all of a sudden mean I'm going to listen to you more because you were a soldier? Well, how long were you in? What'd you do? What was it? It's irrelevant. It's meaningless. It has nothing to do with anything. Okay, and let me say this: in 8.5 years. It has never been about Jason Moss. Okay, I put the videos out. It's because you have to have a name, and here I am, transparent. J.P. Moss, author J.P. Moss. Here's my video, and from my heart, it has been, without question, and I know this, that this is not just that she's real, but what's going on between us. And I know what happened many years ago, and I know that my government is acting out of fear and a need for advancing its global supremacy on this planet and maintaining that level of that control. Anything that they think subjugates that right there and interferes with its where it is in the world as a global power is a national security threat at this point, because it's grown so powerful since the end of the Second World War, since 1945. America's become so powerful. That it's like its laws are now stepping on the toes of other countries. And you've got the CIA running into foreign countries all the time during the terror war and kidnapping and rendering suspects right out of the countries without even passing under the noses of those governments and sticking them off in bases and changing names and putting a cloth over their head, handcuff them, put them on an Air Force jet and fly them out. Something that the British government went to stop. And it's like, wait a minute, who are you to do that on our soil? Who are you to step into our soil and do that to us? Who are you? We're not the 52nd state of the United States of America. We're Great Britain. This is the British government, is what they were saying. You don't do that to us. You don't have that authority to do that to us. Where do we have that kind of, come to us about that? Well, let's have an extradition. No, we need them now. We need them. Look, we have the authority, the power, because it's because it was declared national security against our. Okay, so they treat the UFO subject in likewise the same way. It's not a conspiracy. It's a fact. It's a fact. There's too much evidence out there to support that. That if we all agree that the technology involved is very advanced, then it's beyond the American government's power. Then that technology, in of itself, and again, you the government, you people out there created these guidelines, you created these laws, you created this parameter, you created this paradigm in which you regard another civilization's technology as a threat to you simply because it outmatches you. Mathematically, physics, its equations, its propulsion system, its metallurgy is way, way ahead of you. Way ahead of what? Well, way ahead of your weapons, way ahead of your battleships, your cruisers, not the battleships are retired. Your aircraft carriers, your F-22 stealth fighters. It just outmatches your weaponry. So then you see a room of people sitting around and only ask one question all day: how can it hurt us? Well, metallurgically speaking, we can't blow them up. So compared to our F-22 fighters, they can fly faster than... See, they keep comparing everything to a weapon they've got. It's a weapon that they've got sitting over here, and they say, right, okay, so it flies faster than our weapons. We can't shoot it down with our weapons. You know, it's a room full of people in uniforms that sit around all day, and some senators, and they say, CIA analysts and whatnot saying, how smart are they? Well, they're telepathic, so they can get in anybody's head. What's the range of that telepathy? Exactly, what kind of intelligence do they gather from our people? It's all about a very militant system, very, very highly paranoid paradigm, okay? That, and it's just ridiculous. You know, the ones I talk to, Benico, are no threat to anybody. I'm not, and she's not. Which, you know, exhaustingly brings us back to a tired old point. It goes right back in a big circle. None of that matters. Wipe it all away. And then there's this talk about the triangular craft. The TR-3B is all American made. There's videos put out there saying it without anyone even asking for the evidence to back that up. Can you back up that a thing called the TR-3B? Well, here's the evidence. Here it is. Where? Let's have a look. I've not seen it yet, but apparently they're all American made. Okay. So how is it when I obtained the evidence I had of contact with Benico, within minutes there was vehicles seen in the sky matching that description, in fact, and when asked, is that you, are y'all there, and got yes, and again it was like whistle her up on demand. It was like an air show. You could whistle up the sightings on demand. Benico, come here, show my sons. There they are. So is the American military telepathic now? Can they just read our thoughts and hear us saying these things? And why would they need to convince us that they're aliens? Why would my government need to convince me and my sons that those are alien craft? Why would they need to do that? Why would they need to make me think that? Why would they need to fly around and if they have the technology to do it and you all just simply won't give up on that, why would they need to fly over, read my thoughts? This is going to sound crazy. Why would they need to read my thoughts, these Air Force pilots, hear what I'm saying, microphones, I've heard people say that, who won't get off that point, that it's all man-made, and then why would they happen to come down when we were asking them to come down? Well, wait a minute. Well, that's contradictory. My government doesn't want this to go anywhere. Okay, YouTube goes to censor. YouTube goes to shut things down. YouTube goes to shut videos down. Well, that's great. For whatever reason, and they've outlined all these little reasons that they've gone to do that. And I don't want to give any theories about that. I don't want to say anything. You have to ask. Well, what do you think? What if the contactees like myself, and there are many of us, we're getting so much of that contact. Like I said before, people like me who are very real do not need anyone, no disrespect to my subscribers, I don't need you to make my experience real. I don't need government people, I don't need military people or CIA people talking to me to make it real for me, or to make this real, or make the contact with Benico take place. I don't need you. I've got her. Why would I need you? I don't. The fantasy-prone people would not even understand that because they're not in contact with anything. So they get up with these people. They might even run across a few military people and suddenly think, "Oh, I was talking to this guy in the military, and he said this, that, and the other, and he said that." Yeah, you know. And I'm like, "Well, okay, I don't need any of you." So maybe many of us who are very real out there, many of us, would then, you know, maybe we were getting somewhere. A lot of others, like myself, were presenting evidence to the public. Maybe we were getting somewhere. Much further than you're going to get with your traditional UFO researchers who are just going to look at photos and videos all day. Landing trace evidence. Let's look at a piece of metal. Where's it from? You hear all kinds of stories from so-called people inside the government. Well, they've got a contract with us. They're not supposed to talk to anyone outside of us. That's right. How do you know that? And where's your evidence of this? Okay, how do you know that? Surprise! Hi there, you guys inside the government where the intel. Hi there, CIP. Hi there. Woo! Are you so sure that you have this thing all wrapped up under control? Are you so sure that that you have the complete 100% safeguard of contact exclusive rights for you and your crowd?